All right. There are times when I literally hear, I'm basically sharing the thoughts or the download of what I'm hearing in the moment. A lot of times it is a reflection or more of a processing as I'm wanting clarity on my own experience. So therefore, I am prompted by Spirit to record it, and when I do share it, it is going to bless somebody. Uh, so if you're listening to this and you're connected with me in some kind of way, and you say, maybe this transmission doesn't resonate, it's not a resonance with you in the moment, but it may resonate with someone that you know because you might have been having a conversation with them about this very thing. Maybe not been able to articulate, but as it's coming through me, it is actually on point. So the theme or the topic of awareness in what I'm hearing in this damn moment, what I heard from Spirit, is that many of you may be right in the midst of transitioning from an old way of living that served you for a purpose, and you have been responding to a calling to move into a new way of being, and you've dealt with this new way of being before, and this new environment, this new atmosphere. Oh gosh, you're able to breathe. You just love the work. You just love the beingness. However, where you come out of still kind of is in that. It's still happening. There's some things that's still happening. And what I heard clearly is just like you envision moving into a new dwelling, a new home, or from an apartment to a house, for example. And you got a taste and a feel for this new house. You envision it, you manifest it. Where before you get into the new house, you got to pack up the old house. You have to clear the old house out. And oftentimes what you should do is not take a lot of what you accumulated in the old house over into the new dwelling. You got to spend time, go into the house, purge the old place, get rid of things that vibrationally don't belong into the new space. And you think about it, you're like, it feels overwhelming, but I just want to be in this new way of being, a new space, which is a familiar space, because the new space is a combination of the best of all the places that you've been. Come on, somebody. You get that? Yeah. The other day I was speaking to a sister friend, and what I heard came through was, we didn't come here to do. We came here to be the authentic of who we are. The doingness is what the world says that you must do. Now, being, from the being, you actually have to do some things in order to maintain being in the being. Maintain in the beingness. Right. And the other thing I heard was, at the end of life, do not let regret be your comforter. Don't leave nothing on the table of what it is that you're supposed to be. At the end of life, do not let regret be your comforter. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Peace. Last thing. You know how you have to pack up and get things ready and purge from the old place coming into the new house? The new, and this is all a metaphor? Well, there's some planning. And in life, bottom line, you know, when you move, you have helpers, right? Yeah, you have people, you have helpers. We have help. We have divine help. We have a divine team orchestrated by the creator of all that there is. And when you give instruction, you give and set intention. Say this is, you tell the movers, okay, I'm desiring that this goes over here and that go over there. I'm desiring you to pick me up at a certain time and uh, beat you at this location. You know, what have you, what have you. In the spiritual realm, you got to sit down in the council. I say this, and this is what I visualize all the time, you know, because I live in Psalms 91:11. Out of everything, I'm not in that old doctrine like that. However, Psalms 91:11 has always been a life theme. It basically says that the creator of all that there is has assigned an angelic realm to support us. And then along in life, I began to understand the power also of those that came before us and all the prayers that were like a red carpet laid out for my life and for my children's life. And so our ancestors is a part of a divine team. And then you have guardians, spiritual guardians. Now, what I heard recently, and I know you can look up what are spiritual guides? Spiritual guides. You know, we can get all technical about things, but I'm just sharing with you in the moment what I know and I'm hearing. And what I'm hearing, that here on the earthly plane, our spiritual guides that have been assigned to us also operate. Their energy are those few individuals that show up right on your behalf and hold space and do things and make a way. They see your name listed on applications, all that. Or people that have been kind of dipped in your life and you didn't realize their main role until afterwards. Those, they are hearing from the divine on your behalf. Those are your earthly spiritual guides. Yeah. So in planning to move out of the old life or the old way, you got to sit down in the center, in the chamber of your heart. And as you sit down, that catapults you into the etheric realm where you're sitting in the council of the support that you have. The light of the Creator is beaming over you in this chamber. And before you is your angelic team. To the right of you are your ancestors. To the left of you are your spirit guides who actually work through spiritual guides on the earthly plane. But all are in sync and in union in supporting you. Everything that is unfinished or needs to be finished, where you need help in any area of your life, I mean every area, speak to or get in counsel. What does that look like? Years ago, as a part of when I was in my studies for my angelic ministry with Gateway University, which is a higher metaphysical institute, and I became ordained from. And then we had to do a lot of different study and personal practices, right? For a couple of years. And there was one particular book in all of the teachings called Hiring the Heavens. Hiring the Heavens, y'all. A couple of y'all need to know about this. Look up Hiring the Heavens on Amazon. And the author, I can't remember right now. And yeah, but the concept was, she wasn't a religious person, but she was a naturopath. She began to notice divine things happening and began to question. She was examining someone and she was trying to find a solution. And then the patient made a statement. And then she was led to go to a book on her shelf. And it opened up exactly to a section that had the statement of what the client was probably channeling. And then She was like, do I have, as a physician, a divine physician team working with me? And then she began to write and sit with intention, asking for support for her divine team. And that became a whole practice for her. And when I broadcasted, because I used to have, I would call it Sacred Sunday Sessions, live streaming many years ago. And I would ask the audience, I would look at books in my library, and I would say 3 books. I said, what are we talking about today? What do you want me to work with you all today? And they say, Higher to the Heavens. And the idea with the Higher to the Heavens is I was going to do it over a series of Sundays and each chapter, but I end up, going further instead of just that Sunday one chapter, keep going. Because it was like, look, be intentional and imagine that you do have help. Because everything that is manifested here already has manifested in the etheric realm. And so, for example, you need help with buying a house. Well, there's a etheric real estate agent, in the ethers. There's a financial advisor, all that. Already, every role that we see physically here is on the angelic team, which speaks through the ones that are here in the role to work on your behalf. And so you write out your mission statement to your team. And do you do a prayer ceremony, just releasing and giving authority for them to work on your behalf? Because again, Psalms 91:11, Creator said, I must give you help. Man, please. Ooh, child. Ooh. And so that audience, I said, you know what? When I get off this broadcast, it's getting hot, y'all. Ooh, my phone is getting hot. When I get off this broadcast, I'm going to envision, I'm going to journal, I'm going to write a letter. And my audience did the same thing. And I start hearing testimonies from them trusting this process. It's something else. I had gotten away from it, but I'm in that activation mode now. Peace.